like General Lowe's said, the CNE branch is about the people, and certainly as the branch advisor, one of our key role is to try and facilitate the activities like this week, so that we are improving networking, we are exchanging ideas, and we are evolving our profession. And that has been said a number of times. This year has been a challenge because of the elections and the event requests. Although we had some challenges, I think this year the activities that we did have this week were quite successful. And these activities would not have been possible without the great support from some of the units here in Kingston, in particular CFC, the JSR, and 21 EW. The CNE branch here in Kingston is an army of one and a half. Sometimes when we have an assistant, but we rely heavily on the support from the various units, and we would not be successful as a branch without the support of the units here. I just want to take a couple of moments to highlight some of the activities that you might not be aware that were conducted this week. First one, we had an HF exercise Noble Skywave. More than 80 teams participated from as far as New Zealand. So I think that was a great success. 21 EW was responsible. Captain, I'm gonna kill that name, but Kaun Offen. I think that's close enough. Koen Offen. I'm sorry, I don't speak German. So no, it was a great success. We also had two professional development activities: the subaltern course and the sergeant indoctrination course. Both run over 2 days here in Kingston. The subaltern course, the OPA was Captain Parker, and from the GSR, and the INDOC course, Chief Boislard run that. We also had 2 excellent mess dinners. I just want to highlight the OPIs, Captain Peters from 21 EW from the officers mess dinner, and MWO Dooley, Sergeant Trepanier from CFC for the NCM mess dinner. A little bit later today, we are going to have the ceremony at the Characters gravesite. That's the JSR is organizing that, Major Zumlaski. We have this afternoon we have the museum opening of the extension. That was done by the museum staff, and I think there will be a great activity to attend a bit later today. Finally, this morning's briefings, the Major Coleman already spoke in terms of the support that we have from the folks up front. This would not be possible without their collaboration. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic to Chief Boislard, who's going to start with our formal portion of our brief. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Adjudant-chef Michel Boislard, adjudant-chef de la branche. So, je voudrais vous mettre au courant de qu'est-ce qui s'est passé cette année, qu'est-ce qu'on a travaillé, puis un peu où qu'on est en fait de nombre de personnes. Fait qu'une définition de la branche, comme le général Loos, fait qu'une association professionnelle, a professional group, based on similarity of military role, customs, and tradition. So we're all connected, of 5 occupations that make up the CNE branch. This is our role. We're all connected by the domain of network, our information that we work in service provision and service delivery, information assurance protections, and information superiority. So this is what the current definition of the Canadian Forces admin order. So on the 27th of August, 1971, the 13 personnel branches of the forces were created with this order. This order is in the process of being rewritten, and the CMP will be looking at tweaking this information, so we'll be following closely how this is going to align and the change that may happen as a result of this. When was this created? The Naval Operation Branch regrouped also all the naval occupations. So even though we have naval communicators that are working in communications, they're not part of the CNE branch. So should they be in the future, as a community of practitioners? So we'll see how we can adjust and maybe reaffirm these connections with our Navy personnel. We still have Navy personnel in the branch that wear the Navy uniforms as research personnel, have personnel in the 3 environments that make up. So we still have a small Navy connections, but we need to reaffirm this. So who are members of the branch? So currently, these are our numbers. So about 7,500 people, reserve and reg force. So we make up more than 10% of the Canadian forces, and these are the breakdown by occupations. And I know depending on how you pull your statistics, the numbers might vary slightly. I'm sure the care manager have more precise, and the trade advisors have more precise number. So, of course, the Army makes up the bulk of those numbers. And there's a bit of breakdown by command or main organizations. So of course the Army is the largest group, employing the largest number of personnel from the branch, followed by the second group, ADMIM, which employs quite a large number as well. Followed in third place by the Air Force. And depending on how you're taking those number for CJOC, that would depend on the people deployed on operations. So the number will vary. If you're deployed on international operations, you fall under the CJOC and stuff like this. So those numbers were taken from Monitor Mass earlier this year. So about 7,500 plus members. The number is about the same as when the branch was created in 71. So in 71, we were about the same number, 700 some officers. And so even though we've been through a number of reorganizations and occupations and so on, the numbers have been fairly steady over the years. So you probably know, on the 25th of June, we had our change of appointment ceremony for our branch leader, and General Lowe's took over from General Naismith to retire in July. Also in the branch office here in Kingston, Major Coleman took over from Major Neil Trask, who's at RMC at one of the division there. So, of course, we've conducted a number of visits this year. Had the privilege, myself and General Richard, to drive to Gagetown to meet with the folks out there. So well received by the 6th Squadron. And we had also a chance, we spent 3 days over there. We visited also the 37th Signal Regiment, the detachment in St. John's on Thursday evening. So this is the oldest 6th Squadron on the reserve, formed in 1904, a year after the birth of the Corps, and it's still active. So we were well received there. And also we spent the weekend with the New Brunswick Signals Association. So a good trip. Colonel Sabourin went also to Winnipeg, and also we missed to include, he was in Yellowknife as well. General O'Keefe represented us in Glaze Bay for the renaming of the Army in early July at 36th Signal Regiment there. I was going to go, but also the event process did not permit me to go. So, and Colonel Sabourin and I, we also visited Bagotville, and numerous change of command parade here in Kingston, Ottawa, and all over the place. So, you know, we're quite happy to go and visit you guys. However, give us more notice than the week before, and we'll be quite happy to go and visit you for any of your activities. We will try to plan as best as possible, and if our calendar permits us, you know, we're quite happy to come and visit you guys. Let me talk a bit about branch funds. So all those activities. So while the three of us on full-time in the branch office, myself in Ottawa, Class B reservist, Sergeant Larin, who's our admin assistant, and Major Coleman and Private Kim here in Kingston, that's the team supporting the 7,500 plus members of the branch across the country on deploy operations, and the probably 50 to 75,000 retired members who wore our badge. So be patient for us. So when we travel like this, okay, it's public fun. However, all these activities like today's, those mess dinners, and all the activities that we support depends on members like you that are making donations either directly to the museum or through paid delegation. So of the 7,500 personnel of the branch, I would say about 1,500 are contributing to those activities. So the units are, we've got lots of requests at this time of the year for funds. You know, we're willing to support your activities, but that funding is non-public. It comes from you guys, and we count on your generosity to be able to support more of those activities. So why? So some of the reasons to, you know, share your heritage, promouvoir notre histoire, notre identité, reconnaître nos membres through recognitions like the branch commendation this morning, and we have a number of other awards and stuff like this that we do throughout the year. So these activities cannot be conducted with public funds, so it comes from us members. So if you're not already contributing, please take a moment to think about joining. Thank you. So each year the branch has education bursaries, and this year these are the 4 personnel that were selected to receive education bursary. We give out $3,000 each year. So the first $1,000 bursary went to Kylie Gass. She's the daughter of Warrant Officer Gass, a technician who's been posted who's on hire from Gagetown he's at Leitrim. And that's her daughter. She's going to university, first year university at Waterloo. The second, Mrs. Kathy Salter, she's the spouse of a member of Mass Corporal Salter from CFJSR. The 2 other persons are reservists. The first one is Traveur Marin, who's a naval communicator, who's a reservist. So one of the conditions for the education bursary, you have to be a donator either to the museum or to the branch fund. That's one of the only area where, say, we need to recognize those members who are supporting us in those activities. So you have to be a member. So you would say, why is Mr. Traveur Marin rewarded for this? Well, his mom is a civilian employee of Adenium IM, and she's a contributor to the museum. She gives out money to the museum. So he was selected. He's a reservist, and he's in his 2nd or 3rd year at Carleton University. The last recipient, Kevin Thomas, is a master corporal from the 38th Signal Regiment in Thunder Bay, and he's going to university also. So we're quite pleased to be able to support those members of the branch, their family, and retired personnel who are contributing to branch fund in this way. So it's through donations from donors like you. A number of activities that we supported this year through fundings, and the number at the bottom keeps, you know, when we did the slide, but we got more number. I know we're supporting 17 wings with their activities this weekend. and a number of people. So if you're interested, and if you're running at unit activities and you require a bit of fundings, you can contact us on the branch on our website, fill out one of the request form, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible for activities. So, and all those activities this week are supported financially by our non-public, our branch fund. We also have a distress fund for member or in financial needs. It's used for retired and serving members, and through a request from the chain of command justifying why the funds are needed, and after every other avenues have been approached and exhausted, then they can approach the branch and we'll support them financially. So last year, we gave out $7,500 to 3 people who, had various catastrophic issue. 2 house fires, where the youngest member was a private from the East Coast who lost everything in the house he was renting. He had no insurance. So him, his wife, 2 young daughters, and his in-laws that were visiting, they lost everything, and he had no insurance. So we're hoping to support you guys. So if you have cases where you require funds, we're there to assist you guys. So I'll leave pass the microphone back to Colonel Sabourin, but these are other awards that we provide on the year, through submissions.
Okay, so these are the awards that every member of the CNE branch can receive. In the last year, we've tried with limited success to try and synchronize the nomination process, so that we would conduct a board once a year, look at all the awards that we got over the last year, and then assign them based on merit. I say limited success because we're still getting nominations on ad hoc basis, and we have not been successful in running a formal board to look at all the nominations that we got, because a lot of the nominations that we do get are they're timely sensitive in terms that once somebody does a good deed, we want to recognize them as quickly as possible. But we will try in the future to do that a bit more formally, so we can actually compare each of the nominations and potentially award some of the higher awards like the Commander-in-Chief Commendation. As part of our reward program, we have the Subaltern of the Year. So you see the picture of a smiley Captain Caecilius from the JSR. Captain Caecilius is not here with us today because he's deployed. Once again this year, the nomination that we get for the Subaltern of the Year and the Member of the Years, the people from the branch, they do amazing things. So year after year, when we sit down and we review the files and the nominations, I'm always amazed on the diversity and the breadth of professional people that we have in the CNE branch, and certainly Captain Caecilius is no exception. As a young lieutenant, as part of the JSR, he did 2 deployments. Once in up Nanook as the J6. He's the first communicator who deployed the WGS and the operational theater as a lieutenant. And then he went and did the theater activation team for Up Impact as a lieutenant. So I think it speaks in volumes in terms of the young folks that we have in the branch and the professional folks that we have. The member of the year is an ATIS Tech from 8th Wing Trenton, Captain Flood, Corporal Flood, sorry. Can you please stand up? He's here with us today. Corporal Flood is so dedicated. He is so dedicated to the branch that he is a newly father of a second daughter this weekend, and he's here with us today. So that's dedication. Other recognition: the Topcom Research, Mr. Seaman Alderson. He works in Fort Meade with the NSA or Cyber Command, whatever. The top ACES, Master Corporal Denige from the GSR. These are a couple of ways and means you can reach a branch. The first one is forces.gc.ca. The intent of that website is more to have static information like branch SOPs and things like that, our history. The second site, the semsen.ca, you'll hear all about it by Major Boislard later this morning, so I won't dwell on that. But if you have any questions, any comments, complaints, whatever, feel free to reach us. It's always our pleasure to connect with you.